So hey guys, welcome to the show. Here at Fisherman's Digest, we try to show you a lot of stuff. Well, today's Indian River show, we're doing just that. We're starting out late May on Crooked Lake for some awesome smallmouth bass fishing. Then we joined John Jansen, his son Jack, over on Burt Lake for some wonderful midsummer walleye action. And we end the season up on Mullet Lake, back with Captain Tony D from Up North Smallmouth Charters, getting some late fall smallmouth bass. And as you can see from this show, the Indian River area, bam, it's lights out for awesome diverse fishing, spring, summer, and fall.
Numero uno.
Nice one. Woohoo!
One we saw, first one on the boat.
That's right.
Come here, sweetie.
Saw one fish.
Oh, sweetheart.
We're gonna net these fish because we're taking care of them because we don't want them to hurt at all. Tony?
That's a good net you got there too.
A rubber one, and
Yep.
I'll tell you what,
Yep.
guys, that protects the slime on them. Tony, talk about this Indian River fishery.
Well, I'll tell you what, they are blessed with clear water here, and because of the clear water, we are able to sneak up on these guys from a distance, which is pretty pivotal when you're doing this. Clear water smallmouth, look at the size. That's a very healthy fish. And these smallmouth are in this entire chain.
Oh.
Burt, mullet, crooked, pickerel, all over the place.
And that waterway is so, and we're going to talk to you about that waterway because the second half of the show, Tony's going to take us up to Mullet Lake. So we're really on each side of the waterway right now. It starts basically at Crooked.
And we're going to head downstream.
Downstream all the way. Stay tuned,
right.
guys.
Have a good day. Thank you for playing.
Smallmouth bass, Indian River style. Way to go, Tone.
Morning, just a cruiser. Thank you.
Perfect.
This is a bonus one. All right, somebody saw a shad going by, couldn't resist. All right, enjoy your day. Good.
Got a big one right here. Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Good deal.
Good call, Tone.
All right.
Another beautiful Indian River smallie. Guys, this waterway last year caught the state record here in Michigan. What, 10 pounds? Pushing 10 pounds
Yeah, it
up
was
there?
close to it. That was probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this waterway is filled with these beautiful 2.5 to 6, 7 pounds is not unusual at all.
Yep.
And
Got a lot of sixes out of here.
exactly. Crooked Lake this morning. Tony's going to take us a little later in the show to Mullet. Stay tuned. More great action from here in the Indian River region.
The Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Strike King Lures, tie one on. Lose, feel the difference. And WavePro, best ride on the water.
Buddy. Tony, I told you. This is a big cruiser. Oh. I took old Mark Copley up to Camp Quetico and he showed me that Bama craw color. Look at this pig.
You're doing good here, bud.
Oh,
Nice.
look at that Indian River slug.
Very nice.
And you can see it right there, ladies and gentlemen, that zero in Bama Craw. And Tony, what did we threw? 15 casts to that fish. Well, there's the bait right there, and I'm gonna get this fish back in because she is very upset. Look at this. Look at this truck. Take that off. My thumbs are hurting me, Tony.
No, now I've heard everything.
He ate that thing.
Oh, he did eat it pretty good.
I'm sorry. Just show it off first.
We're going to have to break it out of there.
Look at that. That's awesome. Oh yeah. Get him, Tone.
Little fella.
That's okay. We'll take a little fella.
Little green fella.
A greenback?
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Green.
Oh, perfect.
Did you get lost?
Well, I'm lost. How'd you catch a green one? Look at you.
They're attracted to me sometimes. How you doing, little green fella? Look at that. Healthy little sucker, though. Thanks for playing. Good? Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when it gets windy, put on a little KBD Rage Swimmer.
Red kind?
Oh yeah, it's the right kind. Look at that.
Did I step on you?
Hold that up, Tone. I don't need to touch it. I'll just drop it.
Nice.
Wow, look at that classic bite right in the top of the mouth.
Good looking fish.
Little squadron jig head, a little 375 Rage Swimmer. Nothing better.
Beautiful.
And I mean, the wind picked up, Tone, and immediately.
Yeah, a little harder to see. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pretty fish.
Exactly.
Good. Have a good day.
That definitely didn't take very long.
No.
Hey guys, let me show you some of my favorite year-round bass baits. So right away we're going to start early in the year with either a coffee tube, an Elastec Zero, or an Ocho. Now these are fished very simply with a weightless weed hook. I'll fish these two around docks. Of course, a tube I'm going to fish on a fluorocarbon leader right here, and it's going to be a great drag bait. This can also be fished around docks, but on the outsides of docks, not chucked all the way under the dock, because this tends to hang up a little bit. But the tube is most effective in open areas, either around docks or dragging gravel and rubble. It can be a great early season bait, and not a lot of people throw it. A little bit later in the year, as the fish get a little bit more active, swim baits work really good. Swim and Shiner, Rage Swimmer. These are going to be rigged on a squadron jig head. I prefer the 1/8 or a 1/4. It seems to be a great size for just casting and reeling. If you get over top of a weed circumstance, a lot of people run this 1.5 over rocks and in gravel, which is absolutely correct, but I like to throw this over top of weeds that top off at 4 or 5 feet down. This is also a great search bait. Of course, later in the year, you're going to get deep and you're going to go ahead and fish a dream shot. That's the standard of the industry. No matter what presentation you find yourself in, try some of these products. They'll not put fish in your live well because we don't keep bass. They'll put them on your photo roll of your camera. Hey, and now for just a little bit of midsummer here in the Indian River area, let's join John Jansen and his son Jack out on Burt Lake for some midsummer walleye fishing that's sure going to knock your socks off. Watch this.
So I'm here with my #1 fishing buddy. This is Jack, my 6-year-old. I've got 4 kids. I love to take them fishing. And a couple of things to remember when you take kids fishing. One, you can fish a lot longer if they stay comfortable. So keep them warm, keep them safe. On our way out, he wore his life jacket. We've got some snacks. We've got a little portable potty that we can use if he's got to use the restroom. And I'm not ashamed to say I might have to use it at one point or another, but it lets us stay out here just a little bit longer. And Jack is great. He's been doing this since he's about 2 years old, and he allows me to be setting lines on one side of the boat. He can set lines on the other side. Gives us another 3 lines in the boat and another limit of fish. So we'll see how Jack does today. Yep, come here. Just set that one down. This one definitely is. There you go. You reel nice and slow. We've got our first fish today. We're just getting in the planer board. We've got about 8 lines out, and the really nice thing about this Crestliner boat is we can run 8, 9 lines because we've got 3 in the boat. It allows us plenty of room to move around. I can get to the back of the boat here to help out Jack land this monster walleye. All right, bud, reel. There we go. First walleye of the day. We're using a shad wrap, number 5, kind of an orange color. We had a good crawfish hatch here a couple of weeks ago, so they're gnawing down on those. And this is our first one today. We're happy to see that they're still biting, even though we had that cold front move in. So we'll put them in the live well, and we'll see if we can get a couple of more. Does it feel like one's there? You think it's bigger than the last one? How about that net job? So as you saw, I had a little difficulty netting that fish. Bad net job, right, bud? Almost lost that one. We've lost fish by bad net jobs. But what we're using, because Burt Lake is so clear, behind my tadpole, which is another way I'm using to get my baits down into where the fish are. As we're looking, I think we got another strike. But what happens is I have to use a 12 to 14 foot leader. And with that tadpole, you can only reel it up so far. Then you got to kind of hand line it in the rest of the way. I wasn't able to get it. I hooked that lure on the outside of the net, but we still got it in the boat. We're going to go ahead and put that one back in the live well as well, because that's a good eater size. Now I think that one is on lead, bud, so you're going to be okay. Don't worry about the leader. And a great thing about these offshore planer boards is they're easy to get off. A couple of pinches, the board is off, and then you're just fighting the fish. It allows you to get more lines out to the side, get them away from the boat, get them away from the noise of the engine, and just flat out fish more lines. Does it feel big? And one of the things I really stress to the kids is, especially when you're fishing lead core, you don't have to jerk that fish up. It's just nice, easy reel. You don't want to rip the bait out of their mouth. With enough treble hooks down there, you know you got a pretty good hook set. There we go. All right, so this one we caught on a reef runner. This is a shallow diving reef runner, but it's that same craw color that we've been using all day long. This one is a little bit orange, a little bit yellow, but it allows us to match the color with a little bit different action. All right, so what we're using today is more about the color. We're trying to match that orange color of some young in the year crayfish. This color has been one of the best ones that we've had really over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
The Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, leaders in trolling technology. Traxstech, the ultimate fishing system. And Garmin.
And now, let's join myself and Captain Tony DiFilippo up on Mullet Lake here in the Greater Indian River area, where we're out late fall fishing for some trophy smallmouth bass. Right. Is it possible?
Yes.
Yes,
The right kind even here.
It's the right kind. Oh, and it's a big one. Tony,
Good deal.
Tony, look at the
Finally.
size of that.
does it here.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Lord. How about that? The right kind of bite.
Absolutely. I'll get out of the light. Look at the size of that fish.
Just making bottom contact and just slowly
Slow
edging it
roll
across
it,
that. Yep.
I'm telling you what, if you come here in the fall, Mullet Lake in the fall, this is what you catch. You don't
Yep.
catch little ones here
No,
in the
no.
fall. You catch bruisers.
Yeah. Thank you, sweetheart.
Wow. Good job, Tony D.
Looks like a good one.
Stay on there, sweetheart.
That's right. Mullet Lake good one in the fall. Yeah, Tony.
Stay in your way.
Up north, smallmouth.
You ready, Chase? Now that's a Mullet Lake brute right there, Tone.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hey, Captain Tony from Up North Smallmouth Charters, based out of Traverse City, joins me for all of my Northwest Michigan adventures. Tone, tell them a little bit about what you do and what areas you fish.
Well, like I was saying, primarily in late April, when some of the smaller inland lakes turn pre-spawn, fish those lakes while they're on the big pre-spawn bite, and then gradually move to the bigger inland lakes and then the real big inland lakes until they turn pre-spawn on the bay. And once they turn pre-spawn on the bay, pretty much stay there through October even.
Beautiful. And he joins me on Mullet. You know, we only fish here about once a year, but late October, November on Mullet,
Yeah.
you can't get any better than this, bud. Call my buddy Captain Tony, Up North Smallmouth Charters, put you on big fish. Look at that. You want a monster fish right there? Look at that. Mullet Lake, baby. They're like that.
That doesn't feel like a good one yet here. I haven't had any good shakes on. There we go. A little bit
There we
better head
go.
shake.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right,
Grab
we're
that one,
getting some
my
footage
friend.
here.
Look at that.
All right.
Tony is kicking my butt and I don't care.
I'm
Look
just
at
holding
that.
my mouth right, buddy. That's it.
That's right. Another Mullet Lake brute. So guys, the Indian River area of northern Michigan is so amazing. It has such a diverse fishery and it is the hub, the main center point of the inland waterway. And as we've mentioned to you before, we've started and fished at Crooked Lake. We've fished Burt Lake for bass, walleye, perch. We've gone over to Mullet Lake and had great smallmouth success. The inland waterway itself also is a fishery for things like perch and panfish, and seasonally for smallmouth bass, and certainly for northern pike. Guys who fish the actual waterway themselves tell me they have great success with northern pike fishing. But we spend most of our time up here fishing for either smallmouth bass or walleye. Now, if you're gonna target walleye as a species, we'd suggest that you either troll Burt Lake in the summertime, or you can catch them also on your slow rigs when you're like tube fishing for smallies, both in the spring of the year and in the fall of the year. We've had really good walleye success while we were smallmouth fishing. And you know, Indian River itself offers such an awesome setting for an up north getaway. It's got a quiet little town. It's got lots of fun things. It's got the Big Bear, which is a tubing facility that can take you out and tube on some of the local rivers and waterways. And of course, the inland waterway and all the lakes make the Indian River area quite possibly one of the best water vacation, fishing vacation destinations anywhere in northern Michigan. So I'm going to encourage you to get up here to the Indian River and experience this inland waterway. It's also an awesome pontoon day on the water where you can start at one end and there's lots of restaurants and stops on the way that can keep you all set up. You know, the landings up on Indian River is one of those resorts that's got gas, food, it's got a barbecue truck right there on site. So there's places to stop and fuel, and to get fuel for your body, to get refreshments, and most of all, have a great time here in northern Michigan and the greater Indian River area.
Oh yes, thank you for getting that in the net.
Yeah,
Thank you,
buddy.
Lord.
Look at that. Wow.
Thank
Wow,
you, sweetie.
Tony. Mullet Lake awesomeness, hey? So hey guys, as you could see by this show, we catch big smallmouth bass up here in the Indian River area. This has always been known as Big Smallie Central. Whether you're fishing the Crooked Lake, whether you're fishing the inland waterway itself, Burt Lake, or over to Mullet Lake, these three lakes are jammed with high quality smallies. They get going early in the year. They go all the way up until first ice. Get yourself up here, plan a trip to the Indian River area. I think you will be absolutely happy that you did.
Closed captioning brought to you by WavePro. Best ride on the water, online at waveproshock.com.